Recording is on, and camera's rolling. Having some minor difficulties sucks, you know. Some technical difficulties never really happen, but all right, here we are. 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Slice of Life. I was about to say the old one actually. I'm thinking right there. But guys, you know the deal. We bring on guests, we slice them up, we talk about what they do. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a good, awesome guest I met at the gym. Believe it or not, we used to go to the same gym, and I'll introduce him to you guys. His name's Angel. He's right across over here. Andrew, you mind just waving at the camera, saying hey to everybody?
How's it going? Pleasure to be on, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for being on, dude.
Got you, bro.
Dude, like I said, thank you for being patient, bro. Like,
yeah,
as you can
bro,
tell,
don't worry.
For everybody that's watching us right now, the TV's not on. We were using a different mic just because of some technical difficulties, but
do what you gotta do,
we gotta do what we gotta do, man. But dude, how are you? How are you in 2020, brother?
Well, 2021 now.
Well, 2020 was
chilling,
yes.
bro.
How was your 2020?
You know, ups and downs. I think with everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Started off decent. I had a good job. I was working like right off of iDrive, like doing some like front desk stuff at like Sapphire Resorts. Okay. So that was pretty cool. And then I had like a couple fights I was getting lined up for, training really hard, and then unfortunately, you know, shutdown happened. So then that sucks. I actually had a fight. It was like literally a week and a half out, and then they canceled it because of COVID.
Dude.
And dude, it was, bro, I felt so good going into that fight, and then some other things, but you know, stuff happens, and then unfortunately lost my job like some people did, you know, because of the COVID. They just shut down. And
where'd you work at before?
It was so I was doing like I was like technically a front desk admin at like Sapphire Resorts, but their sales center per se. It was like literally right next to the Ripley's Believe It or Not. Right there on iDrive.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it used to be like a skate shop, but like it was literally just like the sales center part.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
But like honestly, dude, I was making good money, but like honestly, I won't lie, I wasn't doing nothing, dude. I was just chilling up there because I was there for like overnight.
Yeah.
So I was just chilling there. Yeah. I would be on my phone watching YouTube. I was chilling.
Pretty much getting paid to do that.
Right, bro. I was getting.
It's one of those jobs. I get it, man.
Dude, it was good money, bro. It was chilling. You know, it was good people there.
Right.
My mom like worked there actually. She got me the job.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been in timeshare for like ever since I was born, pretty much. So that was pretty cool. And then that shut down, and then you know I was out for like about 3 months or so.
Right.
You know, because of lockdown. So I was just chilling. You know, staying at home, doing what I got to do, and then got the job at Planet Fitness now. So doing all that. Had 2 title fights this year. So that was pretty good.
Year?
Last year, pretty much. Had 2 title fights. That was pretty cool. Good opportunities.
That's what's up, man. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
To keep going.
For sure. I had that. So I can't complain too much. Got a couple good people in my life. A couple good people or bad people now gone. You know, up and down like everybody. Can't complain too much.
No, I got you, man. I got you. Usually, anybody that comes on the podcast, bro, I literally ask them like, dude, how was your 2020? Like, it was a
interesting year, man.
Bro, it was a very interesting year. Like, not just like in the fucking world, but just in our inner world too. Like, we just kind of like didn't know how to deal with shit. You know what I mean?
Dude, you know what's crazy? What? Like, I literally just saw like I think on Instagram earlier today, somebody posted something on their story.
Yeah.
And they said like how many days has it been since the shutdown happened? Like back on March, whenever. And dude, we've been on 300 days on this 2-week lockdown that they said. Can you believe that? That's actually pretty freaking insane to really think about that.
No one thought it was gonna be prolonged.
Yeah, I know, dude. Bro. I was thinking like, I was one of the firm believers. I was like, the 2 weeks. I was like, 2 weeks, that's fine, bro. Dude, 4 weeks, that's fine.
Like
bro.
A month.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I know.
But dude, no, yeah, I think and I don't know how you feel about it, but at the same time, it's like, at that time itself, like, dude, I was like I was trying to be outside the whole time because I couldn't stay inside anymore, man. Like, it was a certain point where I was like, fuck, I don't want to be in here anymore.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Crazy.
Dude, I was doing like all like my home workouts and stuff like that. I was doing, bro. I was doing like I was going to the park across the street. I started walking everywhere. Like I was the same, dude. I had to be outside, dude. It was just like, this is insane.
It's insane, man. There was so many like ups and downs with with everything that happened, man, and with that being said, it kind of like really opened up my eyes on like what I really wanted to do. But that's the thing, dude. Like I was like, lost the job. Well, we didn't know yet at the time. Like, you know, you probably knew at the gate. We were in limbo for the longest time. Like, Disney just, I mean, your roommate can kind of chime on that, but like this limbo stage, and then finally they let us know at almost the end of the year that, hey, you're gone. I know.
Like,
and then what's ironic is that I'm working for a third party for Disney. That's what's so crazy. I'm like, I don't know.
That is funny, bro.
Dude, so like I wanted you to come on, man, because you know, we both acknowledged that we went to the same gym, but you are like a fighter. Like whenever I saw a lot of the stuff you're doing, I honestly just went to this gym to work out. But dude, just talk about what got you into that. What actually got you to want to actually start doing mixed martial arts and doing all that stuff, man?
Yeah, definitely, man. Honestly, like, I've been a fan of it since I was a kid, pretty much.
Right.
So, like, actually, like, I started off with, like, being a huge WWE fan. So, like, a wrestling fan.
I think that's how it always starts, right?
And, like, I'm honestly still a big fan. You know, I still love it, man. Yeah, I still watch it all the time. And so, like, that was actually, like, what I wanted to do, like, all growing up.
Right.
And then so, because, like, I actually used to be, like, pretty fat, like, back when I was, like, in middle school and stuff. And then so, like, I got into high school, and I finally decided... like that's when UFC started popping up too a little bit. They started getting more popular,
right.
And then so I started dabbling in that a little bit, and then but I got into high school, and I was like, okay, first of all, I want to like if I like want to do this, I gotta get into good shape.
Right.
So I started working out a little bit, and then started getting into shape, and I was like I did like the wrestling team like in high school, but I was there for like a couple of weeks maybe, and then after that it was not my thing. That's a whole different type of grind that I'm not about.
Wrestling is different.
Yeah, like the real wrestling, bro.
Like Kurt Angle.
Yeah, dude, like like the like high school Olympic type wrestling, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, like I'm man enough to admit I can't do that grind, bro. That is just too much. Especially when I was in high school. Hell no, dude. Like I was just trying to get into good shape for the chicks. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
Like, that was like one thing that we all kind of like, okay. And I think part of it came from pro wrestling. Like they all look big.
I know.
And tough, and like
they're all
showcase performers.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
They're like high standard performers, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get to that shit. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
you see some like scrawny wrestlers trying to get through it and shit. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
man.
dude. And I was like doing that, and then it was kind of funny. So like, and then I started getting more into the UFC because like the first like UFC event I watched was it was actually I forget what fight night it was, but it was the one when they were here at the Amway.
Right.
And it was Rafael dos Santos defending his lightweight belt against Cerrone. And then it's when he knocked out Cowboy in like literally like 20 seconds. It was
that big highlight reel.
Dude.
That was like a long time ago.
Yeah, and that was the card that Nate Diaz did the call out.
Yeah.
So I remember.
Man.
I love the Diaz brothers, bro.
I know, man.
Yeah, and then that was actually the first UFC card I actually ever watched.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, like I want to do this, and then I want to do wrestling. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do both. And then I was like. The second half of my senior year of high school, I was like, okay, I want to finally like do one of these things. You know, I had a job. I was working at like McDonald's for a little bit. So I was like, okay, I have a little bit of money, to try to get a membership somewhere. So I was actually looking at like a wrestling school.
Okay.
But
and that's what I just started realizing that there's a lot of wrestling schools here in Orlando or in Florida. Like I didn't know a lot about that, but that's
MMA gyms too.
Yes,
like
there's a lot of
Florida's
gyms,
a huge thing for sports, bro.
Right.
But yeah, and then I was actually trying to do like a wrestling thing, but their prices were ridiculous. So I was like, okay, I can't afford this. So I was like, all right, I want to do martial arts too. Okay. So I was like, let me go ahead and try to see a martial arts gym. And then so I looked up one that was around the area. I went to a few, and then I ended up joining one.
Right.
And I was doing that, and it was like February of like 2017, I believe.
Okay.
And then like that's when I joined, and then I was just doing jiu-jitsu for a while. So I did jiu-jitsu like every day for like 6 months. I did like a tournament, and I got like a bronze medal in it or whatever.
Dope.
And then like I got my second stripe on my white belt like the following week. And then I did one more jiu-jitsu class, and then after that, I completely stopped doing jiu-jitsu, and I just did kickboxing.
Yeah.
And then I had like my first fight like 2 months after that, when I really shouldn't have, but it doesn't really matter. I won, so
you knew you were good at it.
Yeah,
it's like sometimes you kind of like have to get into some sort of other thing.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. No, because like I remember like I started, so it was an old gym before I joined the jungle, and my ex-coach at the time, I was just like, he knew like how much passion I had for the sport, so he was like fine with it. And I was like 2 months into training. All I was really doing was like sparring and stuff. Like I wasn't training correctly, and I was getting my butt handed to me, man. Like it was awful.
Sparring matches?
Yeah, dude. I was trash. And then, but my coach was, he was like, I came into the gym one day, and he was like, hey, I got you a fight, and I was like, okay, and like, you know what I mean? I was like, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
And then I had my fight, and then I won. But it's like, oh, dude, like I can show you the fight. It's on YouTube. And unfortunately, dude, it is so bad, bro. Like the first round, I did really good. Like I came out heavy. And after that first round, I wanted to throw up so bad, bro. I was not in good shape. Dude. I wasn't in shape. I didn't know what I was doing. The adrenaline, dude, it was awful. And the next 2 rounds, it was just me literally like circling around the entire ring and just trying to survive. And then the third round, he almost like knocked me out too. He clipped me, but luckily I won. And then ever since then, man, it's just an addiction pretty much.
Dude, that's crazy, man. That's an awesome backstory, by the way. Like, even just getting into like the wrestling part, but everybody's has like a way that they get into it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what's crazy is that I think the more I started, when did I start? I think there was a movie, Never Back Down. I think it was like a Florida, Orlando movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, bro, but it's.
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah. And that's when I first started like liking it. Because it was intense. It's like not wrestling, but it's actually more physical. Yeah. And so at that's whenever The Ultimate Fighter was big, like around that same time, and I was like, man, this is so interesting. But it wasn't hitting like boxing was. Like boxing was always the big thing. And MMA,
now it's reversed, bro.
It's reversed. No,
it's crazy.
100%. And honestly, I think it goes on like. On Conor McGregor for one.
Oh,
just like
he
for sure, like lifted this whole franchise.
Oh yeah, bro.
And, I mean, the Diaz brothers. Also,
yeah, the Conor McGregor, the Ronda Rouseys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, dude.
And even Joe Rogan, like that dude, literally is like the commentator, but also talks about it and has people like coming on his show, and that's what kind of gravitated towards that. The reason why I gravitated towards podcasting. Yeah. I was like, dude. You want to come talk on a podcast? Let's fucking do it. Like, I really want to talk about this.
Fuck yeah, bro.
So, dude, talk about like, if you can, chime on the reasons why you love, or not love it, but why is it so addicting? Like, what is it? What does it do for you physically and mentally? You know? Yeah,
man, that's a good question, bro.
I could put you on the spot,
right? Like, I'm on cap, but sometimes, especially in fight camp, bro, it's just like everyone. It's every fighter has it, but like. Yeah, I mean, everyone has those days where it's just like, why am I doing this, bro? Like fight camps and those training, man. It's a battle, bro. Like it drains you mentally, physically. You got to be all in. You got to make a lot of sacrifices. The diet, the weight cut, the training, the extra training. But it's just
it's like a full-time job.
Yeah, it literally is a job, bro. Like I tell people all the time, like I have no life. Like I literally I train, and if I'm not training, I'm at work. If I'm not at work, I'm at home doing what I'm doing. Basically, don't have time to do anything. It's just gotta repeat. But I just think that the addicting part is just the progress of it, man. Okay. I think just the progress of just continuously putting in the work and seeing all the hard work pay off.
Right.
So like if you're like, for instance, like when you first go into a gym, if you can't throw a jab, for shit, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna suck. But in 3 months, if you're working on that jab continuously, and then like in 3 months, you see that jab is like so much better in progress, and like you see it, your coaches see it, people are telling you, it feels good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now it's like, damn, okay, now I want to get good at a jab cross.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now you're gonna do that.
Something new.
Yeah, dude, exactly. So it's just addicting, and then once you get to the point, you know, some people like you just go there just to work out, and then some people like me, you know, go there for the fighting aspect, and some people do it kind of a mixture. You know what I mean?
And that's try to like lure them in, and they're like, hey, exactly. You should come and like see how they do things.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I had friends that would do the same thing, and they're like, hey, it's like you want to try to do this, and like after they were done, they would try to teach me and all this stuff,
bro.
Workouts, and I was like, dude, this is actually really cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but. Dude, it was expensive. Okay, so
exactly. Yeah, we can get on that, bro. But and then once you get to the point where like you start, you know, kind of mastering your art, your craft, you know, then you go into a sparring, and then you put your skills that you are developing. You know what I mean? Now you're putting them to use.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's so now you get to see how it feels. You get to see, you know, what works, what doesn't work. You get to see, you know, you get to test yourself, man. Right. So I just think like the addicting part of it is just, I just think it's the progression of it, really. Right. At least for me, it's just like, especially like with all my fights, man. Like I said, there's so many times all fighters can, you know, say this, that like in fight camps, like it's brutal, man. You got depending on how long you do your camps, 6 to 10 weeks of just pure training. You train 2 times a day, every day, you know, for anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a day. You know, it's dude, the diet, the weight cut, but then you get to your fight, and then you fight, and then win or lose, you know what I mean? You get to, you know, see how good you really are. You get to see what you have to work on, and then that's just addicting, man. Because then the thing is, once you start fighting, once you have that first fight, my opinion, there's no going back, dude. Like a domino effect. Because there's no going back, man. Because either when you win, it's the greatest high, dude. Like that is probably the greatest high in the world is when you win a fight.
Right.
And then, you know, but then afterwards, you want to feel it again.
Okay.
So now you want to feel that high again. So now you want to fight again. Now you want to win again. But then if you lose, dude, losing is it honestly sucks, man. You know what I mean? At least for that weekend. And then by the time Monday comes around, now you have either 2 things. A, are you going to go in the gym and, you know, bust your ass and get better and fix the mistakes on why you lost and try to fix them for your next fight? Or are you just going to give up? You know what I mean? And I just think, at least for somebody like me, I'm not no bitch, so I'm not going to give up like that. You know what I mean? Even if I lose. So it's like, I think that's another just thing about it. It's addiction, man. It's like, especially once you actually start fighting, like I said, it's just whether you win or lose, either way on Monday, you're going to want to either feel that again, or you're going to want to go fix those mistakes so that way you can get that feeling again. Right. It's all about chasing that high, dude. In my opinion, in fighting, it's all about chasing that high. Because there's nothing more satisfying than winning a fight, man.
Dude, that's crazy, man. I see I see some of the, even like, not even just in the general world of MMA, but I had a lot of friends back home that, from boxing, because, you know, Hispanics, they love the idea of like boxing and stuff. Sure. And that whole mindset kind of like revolves around that, where they're like, fuck, their faces look beat up, but then they want to get back into the gym. Dude. And I remember, like, whenever we were trying to say, like, hey, man, like, let's do this podcast, and you're like, I have a fight actually coming up. I see you the next week, and then you see, like, the black eye or, like, whatever, and then you're like, no, I'm still going to continue to train and stuff. And I was like, fuck, bro. Like, and, like, I haven't had the pleasure of actually, like, doing that, per se, of actually getting inside the ring or doing, like, putting myself in that, in those shoes yet. I don't know if I will. I'm just kind of like, I'm just saying, like, this is why I respect those types of people that can do that stuff.
For sure.
And I look at you and I'm like, no, this guy's a fighter. Like, he's not just a fighter physically. Like, this dude can literally get back up and keep grinding and stuff.
Yes, sir.
And so talk about what is it? Is it like the ego part of it that you actually have to have to actually, you know, combat your opponent? Because I see those videos where you're like squaring up to each other. And it's like this whole persona comes out of you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is that like what you have to prepare for, especially when it comes to like a fight? You chime in on that. Like,
definitely. I mean, everyone's different. Right. I know some fighters who need to be angry. You know what I mean?
Like,
so like, I
want to know your recipe
for sure. Yeah, like I know there's some fighters who like need to be angry. There's some who, you know, need to just get away from people. There's some that who just are happy and they're just chilling. For me personally, I like to, like, for like my most recent fight, I like to just kind of keep calm, just focus on what I gotta do. I focus on my training, so I just focus on my strength and conditioning, focus on my skill training, focus on my diet, focus on my mental health. You know what I mean? Because that, in my opinion, and everyone's opinion, you know, that's the number one thing in fighting. If your mental ain't there, you're not gonna win a fight. And I've experienced that already a few times. And so you just gotta get the mental right, the body right. And I just try to, you know, I watch a lot of tape and I try to just relax. I try not to think too much about the fight. I do think about the fight, obviously, but you know, there's some
very calm.
Yeah,
right?
there's some people who have to, like, you know, they have to wake up and they think about their opponent, and then they go to bed think about their opponent. I don't give a fuck what my opponent is doing. You know what I mean? Like, my opponent can be training his ass off. My opponent can be in Thailand. You know what I mean? Or, you know, and I hope he's like that. You know what I mean? Like, I hope he's grinding for me like that, because you need to train for me like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing the same thing. And if he's just chilling, that's fine with me. I'm busting my ass. But so I try to just chill and kind of just take it day by day. You know what I mean? Still live my everyday life, but, you know, I'm in camp, so I gotta do what I gotta do. And I just gotta make the sacrifices I gotta do. And then once I kind of get towards like the last 2 weeks out, is probably when I get a little bit more antsy-ish. So luckily I've had 8 fights now, so I'm at the point where I know how to control myself now.
So it's
a little bit.
You're in your A game right now.
A little bit, yeah. At least know what kind of works.
Okay.
Now for that one particular fight that I had back in this past year, I've had a couple fights like that, but we just didn't really like each other. So I just wanted to knock his head off. Like, it was a war, man. Like, I fought him in July. His name was Artie Shear. He was a good fight. And yeah, it was kind of heated blood. He kind of talked a lot of shit about my team, and because he fought my coach before a few years ago.
Okay, so
he actually fought my coach a few years ago.
That rivalry was already there.
So they was already there, and he was already a shit talker back then.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my coach hated him then, and then just over the years, I didn't really like the way he kind of like carried himself. So I kind of just thought he was like overrated as hell, to be honest. And then, you know, I finally got the fight, and I was actually supposed to fight him back before Rona happened.
Okay.
And that was the fight that like a week and a half out they like cut it.
Yeah.
And dude, like, I'm not taking anything away from like my recent fight. You know what I mean? He beat me that fight, fair and square.
Was that the recent fight that you just had?
That was 2 fights ago. So
okay.
This one was back in July. It was like July 25th. So it was like right after COVID like just went away. Or not went away, we're still in it. But when the lockdown like got lifted. Yeah. And then but he beat me in that fight. But I remember back if I fought him back in April, I was feeling stupid good back then.
Right.
And then for when I fought him back in July, I still felt pretty good. But I think the difference was back in April, I just wanted to win, like how I normally do. And then back in July, I just wanted to knock his head off.
Gotcha.
So
and
that's a whole different like in that fight, I literally as soon as that bell rang, I completely, you know, as soon as we started swinging, game plan went out the window, and I just started banging. I like to bang, you know what I mean? So as soon as that happened, I was just banging, and my coaches were even in between rounds, you know, giving me the advice and telling me the game plan that we were drilling for 6 weeks. But, you know, I just that's what I mean by mental and all that. It's just I wasn't there. I just wanted to knock his head off, and then, you know, I got tired quick, and then, you know, stuff happens. But it was a good fight, and then you live and you learn. And then, you know, I've had other fights where I just stay calm, and then the results come. But I definitely will not try to get like that anytime soon.
1,000%. No. Yeah. I get it. I mean, right now, I feel like every fighter, it doesn't matter what line of work they're in, but they all have these like different mental states that they go through. Like obviously you see Conor McGregor back in the day, like he's going crazy, and then he's like mellowed down, and he like I don't know if it's like a different style approach that he's going, but it's also like just who they are. And like that's what I was going to get to was some of the rivalries he's had obviously made him better. Like, you know, is that even a thing? Is that a thing? Like,
oh, I believe so. For sure.
This is what I mean. Like with this whole rivalry, obviously you get this whole other power source coming into you, so that you kind of use that as an energy source right there. You just kind of fuck yeah. Is that like a thing? Do you feel like?
Oh yeah, I believe so. Like I definitely can't wait till I get that fight back. I definitely want to run it back soon. I got to take care of business in March and do what I got to do first, and I got to pick up a couple wins, but it'll be fun. But yeah, I believe rivalries can make you hella good, bro. It's just like, you know, because if you don't like each other already, so like you try to bring the best out of each other, and then after that first fight, especially if it's a real rivalry, you know, depending especially how the fight goes, the loser definitely wants that one back, and then the winner, depending on how good the rivalry is, wants to prove that he can beat you twice. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it could make you better, but I also think that like when it comes to like how people get for fights, like with Conor, for instance, I just think like it depends on the opponent. You know what I mean? Like for certain people, like I think every fighter kind of changes how they approach a fight, depending on who they're fighting.
Yes. Yeah. And that sometimes takes a long time throughout their whole career. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, oh man. So do you feel like you're a whole different fighter now than you were back then? Or it just, like you said, does it depend on
for sure. Yeah. Because I remember my very first fight, I was pretty chill. I was happy to be there. And then
so naive, so like
literally,
I got my face knocked out.
Literally. And then like my next like 3 fights, I was like coming out really mad. Like I felt like I needed to be mad for some reason. I don't know why. So like I remember I'd be backstage warming up and getting all angry. I'll be pounding my gloves, and you know what I mean. I'll be putting an angry face on, and I'll be like walking out to the ring like, you know, mad. And it's just like I don't know why. You know, I thought, you know, I was learning. I was still young. And I thought that's what you need to do, but you know, I lost all 3 of those fights, so obviously that wasn't, you know, the case. So then I started to change my approach. So then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be me. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm just gonna have fun, because when I have fun, that's like, you know, when I'm the best. You know what I mean? Especially for me. So that's why, because if my mental is good and I'm having fun, man, there's no man that can beat me on this earth, bro. I just gotta keep that mental, you know, good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But and then I just started changing it, and then I won like 2 fights in a row. So I was like, okay. So after I won 2 fights in a row, I was like, clearly this is the way. And then after that, I had that fight with Ardashir, and then I was like, yep, I can't do that again. Then now I just stay calm again. So, you know, just try to hopefully keep that same approach.
Dude, that's awesome, man. One of the things that I really like envy about like people like you, man, is just like one, the discipline that you already have, not just on your mental state but physically. Like,
yes, sir.
Can you just chime a little bit? I don't even know if you want to, but like,
bro. Get into everything.
Yeah, bro. But like your workout regimen, bro. Like like your diet, what you have to do for your mental state. Like, do you do like yoga? Do you have to do any of this shit? Because everybody, I don't know, man. People have a fascination now more than ever with mixed martial arts, MMA, what people do with that sort of thing. People gravitate to it more, and I'm like, wow, this is insane. Like, I like the workouts. Like, even just going around and being around those people, it kind of like empowers you.
It does, man. It makes you feel some type of way, bro.
Right,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Makes you feel like, damn, I gotta keep up.
That's why I love like going inside that gym, and I'm just looking, and I'm just like, is this what you do? And they're like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Exactly.
So what do you do exactly? Like, because obviously, that's how we met, was at the gym. Or, the jungle, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what do you do, bro? Like, how is your workout regimen and stuff?
Yeah, so when I'm outside of camp, I just try to basically keep it simple to stay in shape. So I just do my strength and conditioning. I normally do strength and conditioning at least 4 times a week.
Right.
So it involves the weights and all that. So I'll be in the weight room, and then I do that, and then I have like a long stretching regiment that I do beforehand. Yeah. So it's like at least like a good 20-minute power stretch, you can say. Excuse me. And then after that, I have like a warm up, just to get the heart rate up, try to get into red zone. And then after that, I do the strength and conditioning. I have a program I do. My coach is actually Phil DeRue out of ATT over there, in Coconut Creek. Well, he's not an ATT anymore, but yeah, that's what he's like known for. And then he works with like Dustin Poirier and all them.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. And then after that, I do bag. I try to do like bag work at least every day. I do at least like 15 minutes of bag work a day.
Yeah.
I change it up. I'll do freestyle. I'll do either drills. I'll do really just repetition. That's really all it is when it comes to, especially my sport and Muay Thai and kickboxing. It's just all about repetition, man.
1000%.
So I'll like sometimes it's really just I'll throw a jab 100 times. I'll throw a jab cross. I'll throw a bunch of kicks. It's just whatever I really want. Like I said, I just try to keep that cardio in there, and then I always finish off with some extra cardio to at least 6 minutes of high intensity cardio. So that way, try to.
So it's like a hit workout.
So yeah, pretty much try to keep it like a fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I still go to the gym, of course. I try to go back. I just started going back to the gym this past week. I took the week off after my fight, and then last week I got back into like lifting and normal stuff. And then I went back to the jungle earlier this week. I'll be back there tomorrow. And then so I'll go outside of camp. I go to the jungle maybe 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week. And then I'm actually going back into fight camp probably like next week or the week after. So when I'm in camp, that schedule is basically, that's when it's a lot. That's when I'll only do strength and conditioning like 3 times a week, but like I'll have like Mondays, for instance, I'll do my strength and conditioning in the morning, and then I have sparring at night. And then Tuesday and Thursday, I'll just go down to the jungle, and I basically just do like 4 hours of striking stuff. So literally it's like from like 10 to 11, like literally, bro, it's like from 10 to 11, it's basically like a warm up. So mixture of just stretching, skipping rope, doing some drills, shadow boxing, basic stuff like that. And then from like 11 to 12 is when I'll do like some drills on the bag, some bag work, or a partner drill if I have a partner, stuff like that. And then from 12 to 1, I normally have technique class. And then from 1 to like 1:30, 1:45, depends on how many rounds of pads my coach wants to put me through hell is when we do pad work for the fight.
Yeah.
And then I do like body conditioning afterwards, and then you have like some abs, and you do a burnout, and all that stuff. And then so that's normally from like 10 to 2, so that's never 2 whatever. But
and one of the things that that really is admiring for like a lot of fighters and stuff like that is the fact that y'all, I don't know if it's just like the jungle, but I know a lot of people have like not like a brotherhood, not even per se, but like they start them off young. Like I've seen like so many people training in there at a young age. And
for sure.
And I feel like that is what's kind of like help you mold you into like something good later on. And I don't know where I found, like, even in boxing, I didn't find it like, not saying good for kids, but like the fact that kids are always there, you know, they're always moving, they're always doing everything. I feel like all of that is really good for them. Yeah. Is there, if somebody wants to get into box or like MMA, what would you tell them like to look out for? Like, what would you tell them is like one of the things? Is it the workouts? Is it the mental state that you have to get in? Because obviously kids see that as like it's fun, but then once you get older, it's like that's whenever you have to realize like this is where you're gonna have to work more and stuff like that. What would you tell them?
Honestly, dude, I would just tell them that that's a personal preference kind of thing, man. It's kind of more like, it's like, you know, it's like more like if especially if you're like a kid, right? So like let's say like if I had a kid, I'm gonna put them into martial arts. Right. It's like sweet, yeah, they're doing it because it's fun, and they don't, you know, they're just there honestly because they have to be there. Let's be real. But then let's say put them in there. But then let's say like in the future they, you know, now they're like 15, right?
Right. So there we go. Yeah, dude, that's one of the things that I want to start doing is actually promote a lot more MMA. Obviously, I did it for a little bit, but not like at the level that you are. You know what I mean?
For sure,
that's like one of the things where I was like, whenever you told me you're actually like a fighter and stuff, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be like a good avenue to like kind of get more people involved and get people to actually start dabbling in it, because MMA is a whole smorgasbord of like so many styles and stuff like that. And which ones do you do? Like you do jiu-jitsu?
I specialize in kickboxing and then and Muay Thai, and then I've done jiu-jitsu and I know how to do jiu-jitsu. But like I'm not very good at it. Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely a striker. I've like all my fights have been kickboxing and Muay Thai so far. Right. I'll definitely have an MMA fight, I'm sure, in the future at some point. Okay. But I'm primarily a kickboxer. Okay. So yeah. Bro,
no, it's good. Like there's so many. Even whenever I was over there at the jungle, they were doing like the jiu-jitsu part, and that's where I was like, dude, this is grappling. It's a lot of more of the you take them down and all that stuff. And obviously, is that how you find your niche, or do you have to be well-rounded on everything?
Yeah, definitely. If you want to be like definitely like an MMA fighter for sure, you definitely need to be good at everything. Like you need to have all the aspects of the game. You need to be good at striking. You need to be good at grappling. You know, but all the grappling. You need to be good at the jiu-jitsu grappling, the wrestling grappling. Dude, you gotta know, man. Like you gotta know what you're doing. Obviously, you don't gotta be. No one's gonna be the best at every single one. Yeah. But you gotta at least know what the hell you're doing for each avenue. Because in an MMA fight, you always start up standing, but then it can go to the ground whenever they want. The person can shoot whenever they want. They can do cage work whenever they want. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be aware at all times. So you gotta be prepared for either a striking fight, a grappling fight, a cage fight. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. Luckily, like what I do right now, where I just prioritize, kickboxing and Muay Thai, I only gotta worry about striking. You know what I mean? So I only gotta worry about your kicks, your knees, and your punches. You know what I mean? And your footwork. So luckily, like I don't ever have to worry about you shooting on me or you trying to go for a takedown because you can't. You know what I mean? The only thing I would have to worry about is like the clinch, for instance, but you can just get out of it. You know what I mean? So, but if you definitely want to be an MMA fighter for sure, you have to be good at each aspect. And then obviously, like some people are better at one thing than the other. Like I have a teammate, for instance, Justin. Like he's like one of the best wrestlers, like here in Florida. Like period, bro. Like he's so good. Yeah. He's like 4-1 now or whatever. Yeah. He just lost his first fight, which was the last fight by split decision for the belt. But that was kind of a robbery. He should have won that fight. But it was a good fight, and he's a great wrestler. Right. And that's how he wins most of his fights. Like most of his fights, like all of his wins are by submission. So because he's a great wrestler and a great grappler. But his striking, it's not, it's not very good, but it's good. It's good enough for him to strategize his game plan, which his game plan is to wrestle. You know what I'm saying? So he has a very weird and unique striking style that I hate sparring him for. But again, it works for him to utilize his game plan, which is to get you to the ground. But his striking is getting better every day. You know what I mean? Like in 5 years from now, he could be his striking could probably just be just as good as his wrestling, which I believe it could be. So, but then for instance, if I went into an MMA fight right now, I'm good at striking, but their game plan is gonna be to shoot on me. Right. So, and if I'm going up against somebody who's better at wrestling than I am, then it's like, well, damn. Hopefully I can get up, That's crazy, yeah. There's a bunch of aspects that go into the game, bro, for sure.
And that's so cool. Like this is why the whole idea that you can put so many styles into this one cage and then try to see like who would come out victorious, and that's. It could be from like a submission, from knockout, from like getting from at the end of the rounds. How many rounds is it that you normally would do?
In MMA, they're all 3 rounds. But for amateur, if it's an MMA fight, they're 3 3-minute rounds, and then if it's a kickboxing, it's 3 2-minute rounds. Right. Okay. And then if you're a pro, MMA is 3 5-minute rounds, and then kickboxing is 3 3-minute rounds.
So what are you trying to do now? Like, are you gonna try to like keep working the craft until you actually get to like better fights?
Oh, for sure, yeah. So I have I'm gonna fight again in March here in Orlando for Combat Night.
Yeah.
So I'll be fighting then. Just gotta take care of business. Probably just a normal fight. I just had 2 title fights, so I want to have a nice normal 3-round fight. And then after that, there's the IKF, the International Kickboxing Federation. They're actually coming back to Orlando in July, the 2nd through the 4th, at the Harriet Inn somewhere around here. I don't really know. But that's like one of like the biggest kickboxing tournaments in the world.
Okay.
For amateurs and like if you have one of those belts on your record as an amateur, like when you turn pro, it's very good. It's very good. Like those are that's a tournament where like you have to like you have to win 2 fights.
Okay.
So like you have to win on Friday and you have to win on Saturday.
Okay.
And then sometimes you have to win on Sunday. So it's
depending on how far you go. Or
well, it depends on how many people are in the bracket, for instance. So if like there's only 4 people in the bracket, then you're only gonna fight 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
So but you gotta win both fights. So you have 2 fights in 2 days compared to normally like in a normal fight. If you're just getting ready for a normal fight, you have 6 weeks to prepare for 1 fight. You know what I'm saying? So then after that fight, now you're on to the next.
Right.
And in this tournament, it's you fight, and then after that fight, tomorrow you fight again.
That's crazy.
So yeah, dude, and that's how you get the belt. And I want to compete in that this year. Try to test my skills there, and then see where the rest of the year takes us. But that's definitely what I'm eyeing on now. And then I definitely probably train a little bit more jiu-jitsu this year, new year. So you know what I mean. Might dabble in an MMA fight towards the end of the year just to say I did it. You know what I mean? See, maybe I'll get the itch. But for now, you know, just continue to perfect my craft in kickboxing and try to do what I can do.
Dude, that's so awesome, man. Like one, like do you know who was it? It was like his stage. It's not a stage name. His fighting name is Black Santa.
Miles?
Yeah, Miles. Dude, dude. That's the first dude I met whenever I went there. I didn't even know if he was still there or not.
Yeah.
I was like, how's he doing?
He's doing good, bro. Yeah. He actually he just signed with one of a pretty big management company, Ruby Sports, back like late last year. So that's pretty good. Ruby Sports, they got a lot of people in the UFC. So that's good for him. He just had a fight for LFA, actually, his most recent fight. And LFA, that's like one of the promotions where like the UFC like looks at,
I heard
like for prospects. Yeah, he had a fight there. Unfortunately, it didn't go his way on that night, but he'll be back. He's been training. He's still training every day. I think he's looking at a March date too. So I think Combat Night in March, it's going to be a pro card too. Mm-hmm. So I think we got a couple of our pro fighters trying to get on that card.
That's awesome.
So I think he's trying to get on a March card. So he's going to bounce back pretty good, bro. I think he's easily, I'd say 2 wins away from at least. I'd say he's a 1 win away from like a Dana White Contender Series. Yeah. And then he's like 2 wins away from like UFC. I truly believe it. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good, dude. The most iconic thing that I remember was his fucking beard, man.
He's a huge beard, bro.
I was like, man, you're tall, but dude, I like your beard. Yeah. This is like, he's like, yeah, man, you ready to run these? I was like, no, let's go.
Yeah.
I was just like running with him. I was like, this dude is he's a monster.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man.
No, he's a great guy. He's a funny guy. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm gonna miss this gym. Literally, like I got 3 months, and I was like, I probably want to go back. But like I said, it's like anybody that wants to dabble in it, just know it's an investment. It's literally it's a lot of money and time that you're gonna have to put in for that. But
a lot of time.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Dude, but that's awesome, man. I'm happy. I'm happy that you came on. I'm happy that you're going into this like whole journey of like, let's see what else is out there. Honestly,
all right, for real.
Like one thing I do want to end it on is like, usually I like to kind of like give the audiences like something not positive, but more of like, this is helpful for people outside of the ring. And obviously you did talk about some of the positives that it did for you, but like, I think doing something physical is ideal for the body. And I don't know if you agree or not with that.
Oh, totally agree, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And does that also go into what you're doing right now? Because people think of fighting and they think it's a bad thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's seen as that, but yet people still gravitate towards it. And I'm like, why? But that's the reason why I wanted to bring on somebody like you, and I was like, yeah, we could talk about like some of the good, some of the bad.
I love that question.
Exactly, man. Like, what would you tell them? And like, is there bad? I don't know. Like, I don't know this.
Like, nah, man. Like, in my opinion, like how I see it, like, I just think about it like I'm a gladiator. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a warrior, bro. Like when I'm going out there, like I don't like using the term like when people are like, oh, I'm preparing for war. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, all right, relax. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a fight. Yeah, like so many people, and I'm not gonna cap. Like, I remember I've said that a couple of times before. You know what I mean? But it's just like,
right before a football game,
oh, for sure, bro. Oh, for
like,
sure. But it's like, as you know, as I've had more fights and progressed, it's just like, all right, relax. Like, 6 minutes of, technical like of a fight, you know what I'm saying, is not compared to anything like a war. But I like to think of it as like, like the movies and stuff, where like I'm a gladiator, you know what I mean? Like yeah, people see fighting sometimes as like a bad thing, but it's like it is slowly starting to fade from that about time, as MMA continues to grow with the UFC and all that stuff. Boxing's coming back, all those type of things. But like people, I think you gotta take it as when you want to get into like, it's just a sport like anything else. You know what I mean? Like if you want to get into like martial arts, you want to get good as, you know what I mean? Like especially if you get to a point where if you do want to end up fighting, like you want to get to a point where you can see your body can do things that you don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, some people don't know that they can, like, throw a roundhouse kick. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can throw a roundhouse kick. You just have to practice it. You know what I mean? Like, anyone could throw a punch. Like, it's addicting, man. Like, once you, like, start learning how to throw the punch, once you can throw the kicks, once you know you can throw, combos, once you can see... once you can see how your cardio changes, once you can see how like your body physically changes, because even if you just do it for a workout, it's a hell of a workout, dude. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be sweating your ass off, you're gonna be losing a lot of calories. So it's like, I just think it's good, like for you. Like I encourage people to get into martial arts. Like, this is why I was like, I encourage you to like, even like I tell people all the time, like if they ask like to fight, I tell them most of the time, don't worry about fighting. You know what I mean? Like that'll come. Like I just say, if you want to do martial, like I encourage people to go work out, because I'm a big fitness enthusiast and all that. But it's like, yeah, I like lifting weights and stuff like that, but I would tell somebody definitely to go join a martial arts gym, because like I said, like it's a great workout and it changes your cardiovascular. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You get to see, like, you get to actually test yourself and see how much energy you actually have. How many punches can you throw? How many combos can you do? Exactly. You know what I mean? It's like at first it's going to suck and you probably can't do more than like a minute. You know what I mean? And you want to throw up afterwards. But as you progress, it's like that minute slowly turns into 2 minutes. Then it turns into 3 minutes. You know what I mean? And it's just like a progression. And then, your left kick, your roundhouse kick can go from, from being awful to now it's progressing. And now it's getting better. And now you can see that, the torque in the hips your body can do. You can see how much, like, damage your body can actually take. You can see how... it's just, I just think it's just a beautiful thing, honestly. Then
I do too, but you're in this now, so I just want to get your perspective.
Yeah, bro, and it's just like, I just don't think it's bad at all. Like, you don't even have to fight. Like I said, you can literally just go there. You can just invest in like a heavy bag and just start doing stuff, like even on YouTube, bro. And it's just awesome to see, like, it's awesome to see what the human body is actually capable of. You know what I mean? Like, your body is just so much, it's more capable than you actually know, dude.
That's
like
awesome.
even I didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know. Like I tell you this all the time. If you have told me back like in high school that like I would be like a fighter right now and stuff, I really wouldn't believe you, dude. Because like I'm gonna lie, in high school, dude, I was a little bitch. Like you know what I mean? Like I was cool and all, but like when it comes to like confrontation, hell no, dude. Like don't get me wrong. Like I would have gone into a fight if I had to in high school, but I would have gotten my ass beat, bro. Like I didn't know anything. So it's like I just think that's another thing too, where it's like I think everyone should do martial arts as well, just for self-defense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And confidence, exactly, bro. Like. Just so that way you at least know what you're doing to an extent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like you don't get into some sort of fiasco.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, because and it's like people are like, well, I'm never gonna have to use those skills. Yeah, hopefully you don't ever have to, and most people don't. You know what I mean? And that's awesome. Right. But unfortunately, not everyone's like that. You know what I mean? No, you never know, and there might be a time where you have to do something, and even if you don't know much. At least if you know how to throw a proper cross, you know what I mean? If you can throw a proper right hand against somebody who is just like a street fighter basically and doesn't know what they're doing, you have a pretty good chance of winning a fight. You know what I mean? Like, because you know how to land that punch. Exactly, yeah. But you wouldn't have known if you didn't, actually like invest in it. Yeah. Exactly. You didn't practice it. It's a sport like anything else, man. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. Man. I feel like even just perfecting it, and going into not perfecting it, but progressing into it is something that I feel like is great for the body. And I'm always a firm believer of it doesn't matter what you do, essentially, like as long as you stay active. And this is one of the best ways to kind of get people, one, in a community that actually like would want to encourage people to get better, but two, is obviously something good for your mental state and your physical state.
Oh, and for sure,
especially now more than ever, man. Like people are like depressed and like they don't know what to do with all this excess energy that they have.
Literally,
man. I'm like putting it into something like this. Honestly, would be a ideal thing to do if you don't work out. If you don't, honestly, if you're already kind of like a fit guy and like extend it, like go into something else. You know what I mean?
And you don't even have to start at like a gym, bro. Like I remember I started my martial arts training literally outside of the park on YouTube, bro. Like Shane Faison on YouTube, fight tips.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Literally, bro. I would just look up. You can literally look up like MMA workouts. Yes. You know what I mean, or boxing workouts at home. Like there's so much crap out there. You know what I mean? Right. And it's like, dude, you can start off there, see how you like it, and then you know what I mean. That's when you can progress, man. Then it's like, damn. Now it's like. Do you like it or not? And then you can progress, and then you can make that decision of, okay, I kind of like doing this, but now let me actually go hit something for real. You know what I mean? Let me go do some real stuff. Right. So, like, that's what I would do, too.
No, bro. 100%, man. It's like getting to the hour mark, man. And usually I want to make this at least a good hour-long episode. Yeah. But you're not all MMA. You're not all fighting. You're not all this. What else do you want? What else do you like, bro? Like, what gets you up? Like, what do you want to do in the world? Do you want to teach people to do this?
Yeah.
Put you on the spot.
Right.
The last right.
No, I'm definitely for the future, I definitely want to be like a personal trainer per se. So like right now, I currently work at like Planet Fitness, and so like I definitely plan like eventually I'm moving into like the trainer role.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like in school to get that, and then I plan on kind of like working there for a little bit. I'll probably transition to a couple gyms, get the experience of it while I continue my fight career. You know, it takes me as far as it'll take me.
Yeah.
And then after that, I definitely see myself like training like martial arts. I don't know if I would be a coach for martial arts. That's like a good question. I would like to. I know I would want to, but like I know myself at least right now, and I don't know if I would have the patience. So that's something I guess we'll see down the road. But as far as like definitely like strength and conditioning type training, I love lifting weights. So I definitely want to have like my own gym at some point.
Oh, dude,
and then like my own like little private gym, like with my own clients and all that stuff.
Yeah. So kind of like having your own field, like where it's taking
that's definitely what it is. Yeah. So awesome. Like I'm definitely just all into like fitness and stuff. And then I definitely, bro, like I've said to start it off, like I definitely I'm gonna wrestle at some point. Like WWE wrestling, like pro wrestling. Like I love pro wrestling. So it's like I did like sometime this year I do want to like start getting into like some type of training for it. Yeah. And then dude, I've always said, bro, like I'll do both at the same time. Like I don't care. Like you know what I mean? I'll be like
hairless.
Yeah, like I don't care, dude. Like I'll like you could do both. I'll do both. Like it's like so it's just pretty cool, man.
Dude, that's all. Who's your favorite wrestler?
Like of all time or right now?
Of all time and right now.
Damn. Of all time, I'm a Jeff Hardy guy.
Jeff Hardy guy.
Yeah, only because like that's that's how it started for me.
Right.
And then like right now, oof, there's so many out there, but damn, I don't know if I had to choose somebody right now that's like doing a pretty good job. If I had to just throw a name out there, because WWE's being pretty crappy right now, I would say, I'd say like Roman Reigns is doing pretty good, I guess. Roman Reigns is doing pretty good right now. Finn Balor is doing pretty good. He had a good match last night with Kyle O'Reilly. So WWE's, always got their top guys.
1000%.
But AEW is kicking off pretty good.
That's the one I'm talking about. Like AEW, like I lost my love for fucking like wrestling after a while. Like after, okay, mine was Shawn Michaels, man. Shawn Michaels was my guy.
It's a good one.
He was the one that, like, not just flamboyant, great with the fucking mic skills.
Mm-hmm.
He was just knew how to call out people's shit. Always in the big fights, and I'm like, oh, dude, this guy's like awesome. Fucking love him.
He was awesome.
Dude, my favorite fights are always with Jeff Hardy and him. And like, it doesn't matter if they're like up in the TLC matches or anything like that, bro. But like Roman Reigns is obviously, I like the Miz's like character. His whole
I love
character.
The Fiend right now.
Oh yes,
The Fiend
bro.
is my guy. Bray Wyatt is amazing.
He's great. Just like all these different characters that come out from like what we knew them before. Like Randy Orton also, like what the hell? Like this dude's like all like either bad or good. I don't know. Like
I don't even know what he is right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
especially because there's no fans, so it's like it makes it even harder. It's like I don't know what the fuck to do.
Exactly. Like you see on the screens and you're
literally.
Like, are you even watching it?
I know, like, dude. I hate even I don't even watch it half the time right now. I follow stuff on Instagram because it's like, especially right now, I hate the Thunderdome bullshit. Like I hate that. I hate the freaking virtual screens and shit. It's like, dude, it hurts my eyes. Like it's like, dude, what the fuck am I watching right now, bro? It's like, nah, like I hate it.
The fact that they have to still be in character.
I know.
There was no feedback from
literally.
from
I know. That's respect, bro. That's respect. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
100%.
It'd be really hard.
This is why, like, I don't. Yeah, like that's not real fighting per se, but the fact that they're acting plus in the best shape in their fucking world and still putting their bodies on the line, that's what I can respect.
Yeah.
But no, dude, that's awesome, man. If you do go do that, I'm just glad I got this podcast again. You'll be right back on this. We'll be talking about that shit.
Oh yeah,
dude. Thanks for coming on. Like I said, Angel, I really appreciate it. I do want to just say I like the jungle. Go check it out. You'll see him. You'll see a lot of other people like. But at the same time, we're gonna call it right here, bro. So, thanks for coming on, man. Like I said, folks, hit that like button, subscribe. You can find the Slice of Life podcast on almost every platform. If you're not seeing our faces right now, obviously you're gonna see it or hear it on where is it now? On iTunes, Spotify, Google, almost everything, guys. Go check it out. Yeah. We're gonna end it right here, guys. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.